Alrighty, what is up, PokeMoshPit? This is InertFury here, and today I have my first ever UU match against TornadoSurvives. It was a fun battle. I have a lot to learn about UU, but anyways, let's go ahead and get the match started. I'm going to lead with a Trick, Rotom, C. He's going to lead with a Mew. I didn't realize that he'd be Scarfed too, and he went for a Transform, basically, I guess, to scout my set. I also forgot that once you tricked, you could also switch moves, so I just immediately switched out to Registeel as opposed to going to a 4-volt switch, rather. So that kind of sucked for me, but oh well. So I go out to my Registeel, he goes up to an Ambipom. I figured that a Fake Out was coming, so, it's like, okay, whatever, I'll just take, 20 or so damage and gain it all back from my leftovers. And I was not expecting the taunt. I mean, looking back at it, yeah, it was a good move, but I honestly wasn't expecting it. I was expecting to take a Brick Break to the face. So, he's not going to Wild Chase out of there, and of course my only move on this is Seismic Toss because I've got Dual Status and Stealth Rocks. So, I'm forced to sit here and Seismic Toss stuff. And so he goes out to a Spiritomb, and of course I can't hit that for anything. So now I've got to switch out, and so I'm going to go into my Arcanine and get an Intimidate off on it, in case it wants to throw off like Sucker Punch or something. But he actually pulls a double switch, and goes back out to that Ambipom of his. So I'm thinking another Fake Out's coming just to get damage, so I just go back into Registeel, but he apparently predicts that and goes for a U-turn. And I believe that this is where he goes out to his Zoroark. And I didn't see the pressure sign. Well, I didn't notice that there wasn't anything that said Spiritomb's pressure is exerting, or whatever the saying is. So I take a Focus Blast to the face, and I'm like, great, I just Toxic something that I would have killed to a Paralyze, and had I would have looked and noticed that it didn't say Spiritomb's pressure, I would have thought, oh, Zoroark, Paralysis. So, whatever, that's no longer here nor yon, and it's now 6-5 in the favor of TornadoSurvives. So, I now go out to Chase because I figured that I can outspeed it and then hit it with a Volt Switch. And he actually goes into his Mew, which, is perfectly fine with me because I can now go and hit that thing hard, and I can go out to my Ultimate Deceptor, my Flygon. So, he sets up a Reflect, expecting me to be a Physical Choice Scarfer, but I'm actually a specially based one with Life Orb and Roost. And I don't know why I was just saying, please kill, please kill. I mean, I figured it wouldn't, but I was just being hopeful. So at this time I figured that he's going to switch, so I'm going to pull a double switch because he wouldn't lock himself into Reflect twice. That's stupid and a waste of a turn. So he goes out to his, I still don't know the name of that. I'll probably edit it in here and say, insert the fact that Rich is an idiot here. So I go out to Arcanine and get an Intimidate off. And he just sets up Stealth Rocks because I didn't really want to be taking Stealth Rock damage. And I completely forgot that he had Reflect up. And so the whole entire time I'm like, oh my god, this is doing nothing! Arcanine is so bad! But I completely forgot about Reflect up, so yeah, that was stupid. So I'm basically letting him get like free screens up when I could have gone into like Flygon and Draco Meteored and probably would have taken it out in one shot because I'm pretty sure that thing does not have really good special defense. So yeah, right here it wears off, so I figure, okay, I'll just go for a Crunch and, just kill it off and not take any more recoil damage from Flare Blitzing. So he goes back into Ambipom. I'm going to actually expect the U-turn right here and just go for an Extreme Speed instead of giving him Switch Advantage. Well, he still gets it, but he doesn't get Switch Advantage, and I switched. So, he now goes into Spiritomb. I know that the Sucker Punch is coming, but I can't really, switch out, because if I switch this thing in, it's basically just going to be fodder. So I go to my Snorlax, and, I figure that, okay, I'll go ahead and set up a Curse, and he'll go out to his Mew. Now right here, I was expecting him to overpredict my, my switch back to my Rotom, and then I would render him totally useless, but, that doesn't work, and he just goes for the safe trick because I set up a Curse. I probably should have just gone for a Body Slam right then and there, but again, I can't go back and change stuff. So, he now goes back into his actual Spiritomb because, I can't hit him with anything, and I go into my Rotom, and he pulls another double switch right here and goes out to his Ambipom, and I again figured that, maybe, part of me wanted to switch into one of my walls to take that, but you know, then again, it wouldn't have been that great because then it would have had all the rocks damage on that and the spikes. So right here, I stupidly go for the trick on that Zoroark, and now I've got a Scarf one. If I would have paralyzed that thing, you know, that would have been perfect because, you know, Scarf paralysis is useless. So he goes and he focus blasts, and I don't know why he didn't just stand and kill me off with like a Night Daze or a Flamethrower. But anyways, I predict his Lilligant switch, and I just go for a Fire Punch because I was like, I don't have any fire moves on this team barring Arcanine, so I'll just go for random. I'll just put Fire Punch on there. And his Spiritomb now kills me off with an HP Fighting. And so right here, I go back into my Flagon, and I'm expecting him to Sucker Punch, and I just go for a Roost. And part of me wanted to sit here and Roost stall him out a little bit just to see how much he would go for Sucker Punch, but then again, that would be kind of boring and redundant. So I just go right for a Draco and finish it off. Wasn't really sure if like a Fire Blast would have KO'd it, so I just went right for that. Besides, still his Zoroark could have come in and probably just KO'd me with a Night Daze anyways. So I go out to Rotom, and I just kind of sack it. And I figure right here, okay, the only real thing that I can do is go out to Slowbro, because I figured that I wasn't sure if I could take a Night Daze. I probably couldn't have, but he goes up to Lilligant, and I was like, okay. So I go for a Scald because I didn't want to go for a Psychic on the Zoroark because I thought he'd kill me off. And I get a totally completely useless burn. You'll see when in about 30 seconds. He goes for a Sleep Powder, and I figured my only chance here is to wake up next turn and get a Psychic off. That's really the only possible remote chance that I have. Because at this point I thought he had a Petal Dance instead of the move he has, which is Giga Drain, which is why the burn didn't matter. Because he's just going to get all of his health back right here. And yeah, I didn't wake up, so that's pretty much game. So, yep, that was my first ever UU match, so it was fun. I had a whole lot of fun with it. I still did have a lot to learn, but you know, it's fun. It's turned out to be really fun. So, great game, Tornado. Be sure to go check him out. His link will be in the description. Come stop by my channel if you enjoyed this video. Be sure to drop it a like, and thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.